I think other people...
We have spent all this time talking about a little barney between two people over which program maybe they'd cut if ever they got into office. We've said absolutely, or close to nothing, about the consequence, what it means that the government this week has abandoned what it claimed was the greatest reform since Medicare of the health funding system.
Just to help that along, Andrew, just before you go on,
and we're talking about the opposition.
We'll hear from Tony Abbott on that, and then we'll hear some more from you. Here's Tony Abbott on the very point that Andrew just raised.
This is the biggest surrender since Singapore. It really is. Compared to what Kevin Rudd was promising, this is an absolute, complete and utter wipeout.
Andrew.
Look, again...
All you had to do is wait a bit.
No, I don't. There is a government in power that is the most incompetent that I have seen, I don't know since when. And all the focus seems to be on the opposition. And you say it's self-inflicted, I say it's also... we're not looking at who's actually making the calls that are leading to this disaster, this turning back of a big government program, the abandonment of so many green programs, the trouble with this carbon tax that seems to be a broken promise.
Okay,
it goes on
just
and
on the health thing, though, can you understand, any of you, why they're doing it this way? Is it because it's the only reform that they can achieve? They can go this far and no further?
Well, there's obviously a problem with the coalition governments, Liberal governments in the States. I think there was a problem with the health package originally anyway. I mean, if you go back to 2007, Kevin Rudd's promise was that he would simplify the system, and really that kind of incredibly complex process-based range of arguments that were had last year didn't do anything to simplify anything. I think that Julia Gillard is doing here what she's doing all over the place at the moment, which is to try and pack up the remnants of the Rudd period and to try and make some sense for herself out of it. Now, what are we left with? I mean, if her package gets up with through the ministers, the premiers and the chief ministers today, we are dealing with a national system that's not entirely dissimilar to what it used to be, with the addition of sort of a case mix model that's nationally, and that's, you know, no one seems to have a problem with it.
Really, the wipeout came last year. The wipeout came because the premiers got the better of Rudd. And it wasn't just Barnett in Western Australia, but Rudd's deal in the end was going to throw a huge amount of money at the states and not give the Commonwealth the kind of control that it wanted over the delivery of health. It was a dud deal then. Okay. And it's a good clean-up now.
And one of the great tragedies of it, too, is the haste of it, I think, meant that they missed mental health, which I think is an ongoing debacle. Can I just say, ironically, that today it seems like most of the states, edging around Canberra today, the one with the biggest problem is actually Queensland. It seems like it's going to be the most potential standout, not a Liberal government at all.
Okay, more of that panel shortly. Annabelle Crabb, David Barr and Andrew Bolt. But now here's Mike Bowles and Talking Pictures.